What's up, coach? Inside this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can build a criteria for you to utilize when you're thinking about investing in coaching. Now, we all know how important investing in coaching is when it comes to getting in the proximity of the right people, developing the right belief patterns, the right skill sets, and learning how to be better CEOs and coaches for our businesses. However, there are so many different options out there. There are a lot of coaching programs that are great. There are a lot that are just straight up scams. I want to be able to clear the air, give you guys some clarity and some intentionality, but more importantly, a very even keeled approach towards how you invest in coaching programs. So we're going to jump right into it, right? One of the most important things you want to make sure that is very, very aligned when you're looking to join a coaching program is that whatever goal that you have, right, it's actually aligned with what that program can promise, right? So let's just say that you have multiple goals, right? You want to get better at lead gen, sales, closing, your 10K a month mark when you're a beginner, 50K a month when you're intermediate, 100K a month when you start to get more advanced. And then we start to talk about 7 figures, which is beyond the scope of this YouTube channel at the moment, right? When you're in this phase, you really want to be able to identify, hey, what do I actually want right now? And can the program actually deliver that? Because let's just say that you want to get to 10K a month, but you have to still upgrade your beliefs. You still have to update your lead gen strategy. You still have to update your offer, right? You might not want to invest in a program that only teaches you sales. Vice versa, let's just say that if you were actually able to, get really good at lead gen, right? And maybe you were already making, 10K a month, but you're like, man, I know what stopped me from 50K a month is not lead gen, it's sales. Well, at this point, you know that this is what you want to do, right? Then you want to go out and look for a sales specific program. And so part of this initial part of the criteria is really understanding what are your goals, right? And literally just aligning that with what the program that you're potentially thinking about investing is can actually offer, right? Now, inside of that, always do your research on a coaching program. What results have they gotten people? What is your methodology, right? I always say a great coaching program, they should be able to get you some sort of result, some sort of win, some sort of significant win through their content alone, right? If a coach is not putting out tons of free, valuable content for you, then chances are the program might not be that valuable. Just something to be mindful of. I know at Content to Sales here, we give out as much value as you can. I mean, hence you're watching this video right now, right? And so now let's move it down into the second part. I would say we invest in coaching programs for 3 main reasons. Number one is to elevate our skill sets, right? To upskill, because a lot of times when we go into coaching, we still haven't done the job of developing the skill sets that we need to be effective for our business, right? So these include things like messaging, lead gen, sales, content, hiring. I even put like something like stage selling, which is more like advanced, right? Then we have sort of like our strategies and systems. So these are like client acquisition systems and funnels. When you see people running like different like DM-based ads, YouTube-based ads, my masterclass funnel setup, right? These are just different ways to acquire clients, right? So then we also have team systems, fulfillment systems. We have even things like referral systems and content systems. So these are when you're actually looking for a strategy or a system to set up in your business to make it more efficient, whether it be in an operation, whether it be in a fulfillment, or whether it be in just the amount of revenue that you can generate as a whole. And then lastly is beliefs, right? And I put belief/proximity. So these are typically coaching programs or more along the lines of masterminds where you're really investing in them to really help you evolve your mind and your overall being to the next level, right? There's a different mindset of a coach who's like hitting 10K a month versus a coach that's hitting 100K a month, right? There's simply just a different mindset. And so typically at this point, once you've kind of alleviated a lot of your skill set bottlenecks, the big thing to knock down is your mindset, especially when it comes to taking your business to that next figure, from 5 figures a month to 6 figures a month, right? And so these different types of coaching programs are, like I said, typically masterminds, typically are in money mindset, leadership, team building, partnerships. You're literally investing to get into these masterminds to just get around people, right? Because here's the reality. If I'm a coach and I'm doing, let's say 20, 25K a month, and my goal is to do 100K a month, and I have the opportunity to get in a mastermind, maybe a couple of coaches that I align with, and they're all doing at least $75,000 to $100,000 a month. The best way I can elevate my belief around getting there, right? The best way I can elevate the way that I operate around getting there is to get in a mastermind to do so, right? And so those are the 3 different things. Again, skill sets, right? A strategy or a system, or, updating your beliefs and getting you proximity to the right people. Now, the big part of in this criteria that's going to be important for you is you understanding where you're at. Because sometimes I see a lot of coaches, this is really interesting. I see a lot of coaches do things like invest in the client acquisition and funnels, kind of like coaching, right? So these are like my social funnel and all these different types of funnels that you guys see that people are like marketing, right? When they invest in these coaching programs that teach them how to implement a strategy, however, they haven't taken enough time to build the skill sets. And so typically a coaching program will offer you the ability to build a skill set, but you need to be clear in learning what they're going to actually do. Because I've been in coaching programs where they've gave me, a Facebook ad system, and they've also helped me with content and sales, right? I've been in coaching programs where they just gave me they gave me sort of like how to run YouTube ads, and they barely helped me out with anything else. It was just like, yo, this is our plug and play YouTube ads thing. If you don't know how to do sales, then that's on you. And I remember like feeling some type of way. However, like I didn't know that, it's totally okay for a coaching program to only give you one of these things if that's what they're promising and that's clear. However, I wasn't aware of that. I thought that every coaching program was supposed to save me and then like completely help me take my business to the next level. In reality, some coaching programs are just to build your skill set, and whereas some are to help you with a system and some are to help you with your beliefs and your proximity and your mindset. And some do a little bit of all. I know here at Content to Sales, what we do is we focus on not only getting your mindset right, but we help you build a skill set in messaging, right? We help you build a skill set in content, right? Offer creation, sales, right? We give you our content to sales formula, client acquisition system, right? We put you in proximity to other coaches. And so again, every program has its pros and cons with the things that they do, but the most important thing is you understand where you're at and what you need most, okay? Now, what is the last thing that I would consider? When you're thinking about investing in a coaching program, right? You've kind of figured out, hey, this program can align with what I need right now. Like, I know I need a strategy, I need a skill set, or I need beliefs, or maybe I need a couple of those things. The biggest thing that you have to be able to assess, coach, is this one thing right here, right? And this one thing is what I call the opportunity cost, right? This thing right here, this is so important. The coaches that I see struggle with messing up this sort of part of their criteria are typically newer coaches. Newer coaches that are still typically uncertain of themselves, and they've never made like a 4-figure or 5-figure investment in themselves, right? And so they literally don't see themselves like, especially if you never sold high ticket or if you haven't really hit a certain mark. It's very hard to invest in a $10,000 program when you've never made $10,000 in a month before, right? However, because of that fear that is associated, a lot of coaches really don't understand the opportunity. A lot of newer coaches really don't understand the opportunity cost of staying in the same place, of not actually developing a skill set. Whereas typically coaches who have invested in coaching programs, have started making over 10K a month, understand the ups and downs and how to grow the business, they understand the velocity and the speed of their time, of their skills, and of their focus. And so, I know for me, I remember one time I got really good at marketing, really good at messaging and content. But at the time, I had already invested about $30,000 to $40,000 in myself at the time. And I'm doing 10K a month, 12K a month, 15K a month consistently. However, my biggest bottleneck was sales. And I was just like, yo, I know that if I can really get better at sales, client facing sales, I'll be able to kind of break this 10, 12, 15K a month of my coaching business and get to that 25, 30, 40, 50, right? Because at that point, I'll actually be able to have the capacity to bring in sales closings into my business. And so what I did, I invested into a coach. Right, I invested $10,000 into a sales specific coach. I did my homework on that coach for a very long time. It was a great investment. It taught me sales at a whole new level. And guess what? I got my return on investment fairly quickly, right? And so it's just important that you understand how to have some sort of criteria around the way that you're going to invest in coaching. And hopefully if you watch this video, coach, then you've kind of been able to see how all these things can kind of come together, right? Number one, understanding that your goals align with what the program can deliver, right? Number two, understanding what are you looking for in an investment? Is it the skill sets, right? The strategy or the system, or is it the belief center or the proximity, right? And then lastly, understanding what is the opportunity cost of staying in the same place or not having the right skill sets or not, having the right coaching or being around the right people, right? What does that actually look like, 3 weeks from now, 3 months from now, 3 years from now? Because so many of us don't really understand how quick time flies. and how quick time flies when we're either doing the work and acquiring the skill sets and the beliefs and the coaching to get somewhere versus when we're just kind of stuck in the same place. And so listen, coach, that's what I would consider. Hopefully this is able to give you a little bit more context around how to actually make decisions around investing in coaching. I don't believe in like just coach hopping, right? Coach hopping is an actually interesting topic where you're just like so unsure of yourself all of the time that you always think you need a coach, or being too scared to invest in a coach at all, or like allowing fear to stop you in investing in the right coach. Because sometimes we don't always get it right on the first time. And so I hope this is helpful. Remember, coach, that number one, if you want to sell high ticket and you jump into like a very scarcity driven or like, I don't want to invest in myself type of mindset, how are you going to expect your prospects, your audience to invest in themselves at a high level if you don't want to invest in yourself at a high level, right? But also number two, you just have to understand that, coach, the same way we go to college and we go through freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year is the same way that you need to go through maybe one, two, a couple of coaching programs to learn skills from messaging, content, sales, all the way up to leadership and like building teams and operations. And so these things matter and you have to always keep on investing in yourself. So hopefully this criteria can give you a little bit of what you're needing. All right, so listen, my name is Coach Tice. I'm the founder of Content to Sales. And what we do is we help coaches drive more sales to the high ticket offer by helping them refine their messaging, get really, really good at content, and get really, really good at sales. So if that sounds like something that you're looking for, feel free to check the links in the description to see how we can help, right? And of course, if you found this helpful, drop a comment or subscribe. Talk soon, coach.